this kind of deposition. And very quickly, lastly, there was that moment at the deposition where things were paused for a little bit because Congresswoman Lauren Boebert appears to have taken photos and shared them from inside the room, and it got posted on X. When she came out of the deposition at one point, we asked her about those photos, and when I asked her, did you take them? I asked her to explain. She said, why not take those photos? She said she wasn't reprimanded. And when I asked her about her just takeaways from the deposition, she said that she admired Hillary Clinton's blue suit. Aaron.
All right, MJ, thank you very much. And I want to go out front now to Mary Trump, President Trump's niece. She has been speaking out about her uncle's handling of the Epstein case. Mary, I appreciate your being here. And obviously, we're all for transparency of anyone who's in those files in any way, knowing something, participating in anything should be testifying. That includes Republicans should show up and talk to Les Wexner. Yeah. That includes a whole lot of other people, Bill Clinton, and it includes your uncle, President Trump. So do you think when President Clinton testifies tomorrow, does that change anything for Trump himself?
It should, but it probably won't. Because the people running this are the people who seem deeply invested in making sure that Donald never has to answer any serious questions. The idea of equating answering to the extent that he even has questions from reporters to being asked to testify in front of Congress is laughable.
Yeah.
So I've been asking this question: Are they only going to be deposing people who aren't mentioned in the Epstein files, or who have been shown to be mentioned in the most innocuous ways possible?
Yeah. I mean, well, and obviously, as you point out, to equate someone in the press yelling a question which the president never answers seriously or just dresses down with actual serious questioning by the Oversight Committee is absurd. So I guess as you go through this, and, I understand Ro Khanna, he was on earlier this week, and he said that of the files that we have, these ones that we're all still going through, that's only half of it.
Right.
And he said, and what we have is the good half.
Right.
Okay, that's how he put it. So, from what you see in there and from what you know, how strong do you believe your uncle's relationship with Epstein was?
We have evidence from Epstein and from things Donald has said in the past that they were close friends for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to doubt that. There's no reason to believe that his current assessment that contradicts his past assessment is accurate, or that should erase what we know he said in the past. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that Donald, since the Epstein files have become an issue, since he got back into the White House, he has been acting like a guilty man. And I think much more troubling is the extent to which the DOJ, which currently is acting as if it's his personal defense firm, is covering for him. Because the truth of the matter is, if he had no involvement in anything suspect, he, more than anybody else, would want full transparency. And to Congressman Khanna's point, we only have half of these documents, and given the way Donald and the DOJ, his DOJ, have behaved since last year, there's no reason to believe they aren't withholding the most damning information, not about Donald necessarily, I have no personal information about that, but about other people they want to cover for.
Right.
It
appears that way. And obviously Trump has said all the way along, he's denied wrongdoing. He hasn't been charged by law enforcement with anything, but there are allegations in there. And then there's those missing files, which raise questions to people, right? If you've got nothing to hide, just come out and say it, right? So we have seen, we talk about the Oversight Committee, Republicans don't even show up for the Les Wexner. I mean, that is shocking, okay? Yeah. And it just doesn't make any sense. And yet in other countries, we see a lot of accountability. Mm-hmm. In fact, they are almost like, shooting before they even read the full thing in some cases, right? But in the UK, former Prince Andrew, think about what's happened to him, right? Yeah. I mean, they have just, boom, rug is out from under the guy. Right. Do you think there'll be anything like that here ever?
Not under this current administration, not the way things are currently constituted in the American government. And I think the fact that the Republicans are behaving the way they are is actually completely consistent with their agenda, which is to kick the can down the road, to obfuscate, and to change the subject away from Donald's involvement, potential involvement.
So when Andrew was arrested, okay, and then there was that image of him in the car, sort of, you can't forget that one. Your uncle talked about it, and here's what he said.
Well, I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family. It's very, very sad. To me, it's a very sad thing.
I mean, how do you even respond to that?
You respond with contempt, because for him to say that with a straight face, to say he's an expert on the subject because he's been fully exonerated, when we know for a fact he's mentioned in the Epstein files hundreds of thousands, potentially over 1 million times. That's from Democratic Representative Jamie Raskin. We know for a fact